and welcome back to Chromatic Knits. My name is Michelle and I'm coming to you from Arkansas. Today is Sunday, September 12th, and this is a podcast all about knitting and yarny crafts. I'm so happy that you're here. For those of you who are new, welcome. For those of you who are returning, welcome back. I'm so happy for you to be here. If you haven't already, please subscribe and like this video. It really helps me out. And as soon as we get to 20 subscribers, we're going to be having another giveaway. So we're only 2 away, which is really exciting. So if you haven't subscribed, please do so we can give away some yarn. All right. So some housekeeping things first to get out of the way. Remember, we have our Finish It Make Along happening right now. It's not too late to join. It ends September 30th, so you have 18 days to knock out whatever it is that you're working on. Remember, it cannot be more than 50% done, but it can be any craft. So it can be knitting, crochet, painting, pottery, anything, cross stitch. Anything, okay? And remember, to be eligible to win a prize, you need to either put it in a Ravelry thread, put a picture of whatever it is in the Ravelry thread, and then if you are not using Ravelry, because I know some people are not because of issues with Ravelry, we also have an Instagram hashtag that you can use. The Instagram hashtag is FinishItMel. So I will be pulling winners from both of those lists. So remember, for more, you can put more than one FO in there, which will give you more than one entry. So you'll get one entry per FO. So for however many FOs you put in there, you will be entered to win. And then I will draw a winner in October after the MAL is over. Okay? So if you have any questions about the make along, or if you aren't sure if whatever your craft is included, it is. As long as it's a craft, it's included. So feel free to join still if you haven't already. I would love to see what you're making. All right. I don't have any house news this week. Knock on wood. Actually, there's this box in our garage that's randomly making buzzing noises now. A little concerned about it. Possibly having somebody come out next week to look at it. But we'll see. I don't know what that means. So hopefully it's nothing terrible, but we'll see. Otherwise, everything else has been resolved. Hooray! Today I'm drinking Diet Dr. Pepper. It is my fuel of choice for the summer, for warm months. And then in the winter months, I generally drink tea. So if you're a tea drinker, feel free to comment down below with your favorite teas. I love reading all of your comments and replying to them. It's so much fun. Yeah, if you're a tea drinker, let me know. All right. Oh, excuse me. First up, I have a finished object. Hooray! So I finished my shark mittens. So if you remember, this was a kit from Jimmy Bean's Wool using Madeline Tosh Euro Sock in the Nassau and the Turn colorways. And this is a pattern by SpillyJaneKnits. So here, all of the sharks. Loving it. All I had left to do really was the thumb and the tip of the second mitten. So finished that this week, got those off the needles. One modification that I made, so in the pattern, it has you pick up, so what you do is you put waste yarn over 12 stitches. And then you're supposed to pick up 13 stitches above and below the waste yarn. So you have 26 stitches. That's a really wide thumb. So for the first one, you'll see it's much wider. It starts off wide, and then I started decreasing because I was like, this is way too wide. And then the second one, I adjusted it so it's much thinner for the person that I'm making it for. So that is one adjustment that I made. But otherwise, this is the first time that I've had to cut my knitting. I've never cut my knitting before, so that was interesting because they have you put waste yarn in, and then they have you continue knitting, and then you pick up above and below, and then you have to cut the stitches that the waste yarn is holding to make a hole for the thumb. In case you hear jingling and other things, there are puppy and kitten battles happening where they're chasing each other. I don't know. Okay, so these are done. Yay, off the needles. Whoop whoop. So excited. Isn't that like the best feeling ever when you finally finish something and you're like, I feel accomplished? And then you look over at your whips and you're like, I feel accomplished. Just me? What are you guys doing? Being crazy. Oh my gosh. Okay, so I was housing my mittens in my Fancy Boy Design Star Wars bag, and I just couldn't stop myself from starting another project. So I have a whip in here too. So I am planning on making socks for most of the, well, the main important people in my life who are knitworthy. And my partner, who is super knitworthy, she loves green. And I saw this on Nicole C. Mendez's shop. The colorway is called Sectum Sempra, and this is her sock base. Let me see. Let's see. That's her logo. No, this is called Avada Kedavra, sorry. And this is her soft sock, which is her 80/20. So it's virgin wool, merino extra fine with 20% nylon. 100 grams, 437 yards, 400 meters. So this is a self-striping. So I balled this up myself, which is why it's imperfect. But yeah, I went ahead and I cast these on. So I've started the cuff. I'm just a few rounds in, but making some progress on those. Couldn't stop myself from starting those. Just wanted to get those started, especially before Slipstravaganza starts in a couple weeks. I'm so excited. Yeah, not Slipstravaganza, the MCAL, shawlography. Like, stuck in last year. Shawlography starts. I'm still waiting to get my kit. It hasn't arrived yet, but I'm super excited. And I got my pattern this week for the MCAL. Stoked. So excited. Anyway, so I have this going on the needles. Again, this is Nicole C. Mendez. She is, I know she lives outside the US, but I can't remember where she lives or where she's located. Not lives, but where she's located at. So be aware that it is international shipping, but it's so good. It's so good. So it's all different greens, whites, grays. Love it. Loving it. And I've started Magic Loop. So these are knit picks, size 1, 32-inch cable, stainless steel or nickel plated, I can't remember. Needles. I've never done a sock magic loop before, but I am actually liking it a lot better than doing the 9-inch circular, I think. Mostly because these are fixed needles, so I don't have to worry about them unscrewing themselves or coming apart, which was a huge pain. And then when they did, then you had to like hurry and try and catch all the stitches. Hi, do you want to say hi? Excuse me. I have someone that wants to say hi. Say hi. No, she's like, who are you talking to? Say hi, new girl. Okay. You're sweet. I know. Okay. There you go. I don't know where the kitten went. Here, we'll have them say hi too. Hi, Nuggie. This is our cat Nugget. Nuggie. Chill. This is our cat Nugget. He's a seat boy. Okay. And he's gone. Because cats. Why is this in here? She just wants to play. Okay. Crazy animals everywhere. Alright, so there was that. And then, so that's my first whip. Second whip. I have continued working a little bit on my Christmas socks for my dad. So again, this is using this self-striping. Well, it's a pattern in, let's see, it has a name that I can't remember, Floater Sock. So still working on that, still trying to see how that pattern is going to work out. Who knows? So second whip, haven't done a lot of progress on that, but just a little bit. And then my night shift. So the night shift has grown. And it was already big last time, but it's even bigger now. So the night shift has grown, and I'm almost to the decreases. So I think I have about 5 more rows, and then I start the decreases. So we're getting there, almost to the midway point. Still loving how this yarn is working out. So you get those sections like you do if I had, you know, 8 or 6 different balls of yarn. So you get those sections and you get the contrast between the 2 different skeins colors. So I'm still really loving this. Still having problems putting this down. I just want to keep knitting on it. And again, this is using Nora Wakari, and I'm using my size 9 Chaogu needles. 32-inch cord, and this is in my Mrs. Brown's bag. Love that. And this is the Jazz colorway. I love it. See all the colors in there? It's fantastic. It's like teals and pinks and blacks. Oh my goodness. All right. And then I've done a little bit of progress, not very much, but a little bit, on my Danny Boy sweater. Again, knitting this in Knit Pick City Tweed. So getting there. So I have until 17 inches, and that's when I start looking at splitting for, starting to get set up for sleeves, things like that. That's the next part of the pattern, so I don't know. But I just know it has to be 17 inches. So working on that. Working on my Chowgu needles there. My Longview Creations bag. Loving this. So I switched bags for this because it was getting too big. So switch that bag. And then coming up, I have the Stephen West MCal. So that's a big thing that's going to be coming up. And then I'm also going to be doing a Find Your Fade. By Andrea Mowry, which is a 7 skein fade. So we'll see how that goes. So that's going to be a lot of yarn. I already have the yarn purchased. I just need to do it. I just need to get some stuff off the needles first before I do that one. So that will be interesting. But yeah, so I'm hoping to get the night shift off the needles before I start the Find Your Fade. But we shall see what happens. Otherwise, that is all I'm working on. There are some other projects. If you have any good, I was gonna try blueberry waffle socks for Christmas socks. I'm just, as much as I like vanilla, I just was thinking about trying my first pattern sock. So if you have any suggestions for a first pattern sock, please comment down below. I'd love to hear from you. I'd love to hear what you're working on. If you have any awesome projects or amazing yarn that you're using, anything like that, I would love to hear about it. And this is going to be a short episode this week. Just wanted to make sure that I'm still reaching out to you guys. And I will be here next week, but the first week of October, I will not be here. So just to let you know that we're going to be skipping a week that weekend, and I'll remind you next week. Otherwise, happy knitting, have a wonderful week, and I will talk to you next weekend. Bye.